I've lived a difficult life full of pain, and it hasn't really gotten much easier lately. Um, Today, I had pretty miserable pain in my lower back, and this evening I developed a killer headache that I'm still dealing with. This light right now is like it's pretty piercing pain into the front of my head, and it's hard to think. Even I have my glasses off for the glare, but as soon as I take my glasses off, I get a pretty bad headache around this eye here because I got surgery, corrective laser surgery, and they botched it. They botched my recovery, and just had terrible headaches ever since then, really. And it's really is the main reason why I didn't complete my bachelor's in college, because I just could not focus, couldn't write my thesis, and it's hard for me to read. I get terrible headaches from just trying to read, which is miserable because I love reading, I love writing. Um, Kind of the root of my issues was breaking my collarbone whenever I was about 10, and it just kind of didn't really get treated, and I now have severe spine issues and my neck. I got a vertebrae that's out pretty far. I mean, it's a good quarter inch or more sticking out, and um, due to that and some other neck issues, I have a lot of pressure pushing on my brainstem, and it's blocking blood and nerve flow. Um, and I developed fibromyalgia. I've had it since I was pretty young. I mean, it developed probably a couple years, I don't know, like after um, that incident. And I had no idea what was really wrong. I didn't really understand or comprehend the amount of pain I was in. It was just kind of normal for me for so long. Like, I knew I didn't feel good, but I didn't really realize how bad it was. And it's something that, a couple years ago, I finally was able to diagnose myself and figure out what the issue was, and figure out what was going on with my neck, what that root cause was, and to find a solution. That I'm going to an upper cervical chiropractor now to get that fixed. But it's been a long and tough recovery. I had a seizure one time with vertebrae shifting into place because I now had a lot of nerve activity, nerve flow that I hadn't had before, and my nervous system just freaked out. So I was in the bathtub. So fortunately, I was able to brace myself and didn't drown. I mean, but a couple other instances whenever I've had stuff shift into place, I could feel essentially every nerve in my body, and it was excruciating, really excruciating. And aside from that, like another issue that I had, sorry, the light is doing funky things, but another issue, I tried a new medication with my doctor, tried to help with the pain, but I had a really bad reaction to it, and it set all my nerves on fire. It felt like I was in hell, literally. It put me out for 3 days. My mom had to like bring me food in the bed, and I wanted to die. I mean, I I still have days like that, not as severe, but where it's just like I'm just so tired of this pain. Um, I'm not saying all this just to complain. Um, there's a lot more I could talk about. Different injuries and even a severe stomach issue that I have now, a nerve issue, where I can hardly eat most things. They make me really sick, and it's gonna take a while to recover from that. And that's why I have a headache now. Is like brown sugar that like gave me a horrid migraine. I have full body pain all the time, and but the reason why I'm talking about all this is because um, there's a purpose for the pain, and I'd rather not go through it, but I know it's strengthening me and bringing me to a place where I can help others. Um, a stomach issue that I have is called cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, which God told me about through some means, and fortunately, thank God really that I learned about it before it got really bad, because some people have gone so far with this issue that they just have uncontrollable vomiting, and some people have even died from it because they didn't know what the issue is, and they just keep using it. Comes from overusing cannabis, whether that's hemp-based products or otherwise, CBD, whatever. It can damage the endocannabinoid system. So I was using pretty heavy to try to deal with this pain that I have, and I had no idea really just how much I was using, because I didn't understand how bad my pain was, to where it essentially fried my nerves and my endocannabinoid system. There were times, a lot of times, where I was collapsing on the floor from pain, and I couldn't move for like over half an hour. So this one time it was like, I don't know, probably 45 minutes or more. I had to crawl to my bed. Well, first I crawled to the fridge to take some supplement that I use for pain. I had to wait a while for that to kick in so that I could crawl on my back to my bed and use my bedpost and use all my strength to pull myself up. It's just really severe until finally I felt like I had extreme sharp pain in my lower abdomen, and I thought maybe it was my appendix. I had to have my roommate drive me to the ER. So I don't know. I'm no stranger to pain, and it's very debilitating, and I get upset when it's hard to accomplish all the things I want to accomplish. It's difficult. Dealing with the things, getting out of bed is hard every day. But there's purpose for the pain, and I know God has a plan. He's using all things for my good. Through the knowledge that I've gained through treating myself, I now have been able to treat and help a lot of other people with some really severe issues that just traditional Western medicine can't help, hasn't been able to help these people. And I've been able to use my knowledge of chronic pain and of natural medicine, and also of cannabis, to help these people. And a disclaimer, I like to use the word cannabis because it's scientifically the same plant. It's pretty stupid that it's still illegal federally, because Delta-9 THC, little crash course lesson here, is what's illegal. However, hemp, which is just a cannabis plant that has less than 0.3% THC. Like you can be growing a plant that's one day hemp, next day is cannabis, or weed or whatever. It's kind of dumb because there's legal cannabinoids out there that are 33 times stronger than Delta 9, and that's one of the mid-range ones with all the new stuff coming out. So anyhow, with my knowledge of that, I'm treating people who are some people who are mainly paralyzed. A person who had a severe stroke where she should have died from it. People with PTSD, headaches, sleeping problems, just severe everyday pain like I deal with. So for that reason, I'm thankful for what I've gone through. It's difficult. It's very hard to deal with. But I'm thankful that the bad is being used for good. God takes the bad and he turns it around and changes it. And this is something that I am pursuing as a business, to be able to help more people on a larger scale. And I got some good friends that are with me on that mission. So I know God is going to make this larger. It's not really by my hands. I'm just a vessel, and I'm happy for that. It's what keeps me going, is the purpose through the hard time, through the difficulties. And I mean, eventually I'm going to heal, God willing. I found the right solutions to the issues, and I've had a, and maybe this is a large part of what I was made for. I've had an interest in medicine since I was really, really young. I remember the age of like 6 or 7. I essentially made a herbal solution to help with ant bites. I got bit by some fire ants, and I just made a poultice and based off of a theory that I had, and it worked. It broke down the venom, and I don't know. What I do know is that through my experience of pain, not only physical but the mental pain and even the PTSD that I've gone through, the anxiety, the depression, the struggle with suicidal thoughts, I'm able to understand the pain of other people and to be there and show up for them in a way that I just want to have a clue. And that's one of the hard things with fibromyalgia and similar issues with chronic pain. And the CHS, it's what cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome is. That's the abbreviation, which is a lot easier to use. And these are issues that just aren't really very well known. Even the medical field, most doctors just have no clue what they're doing. They don't know how to diagnose it. That's why I don't have an official diagnosis. I've talked to my doctor about it, but it's just something they're scared of, and I don't know. It's but having this firsthand knowledge of these things and knowing what it's like, I'm able to help people walk through it, walk through their own issues, to encourage and empathize with them, which is huge. But I also lose my train of thought a lot. A lot of that's due to fiber fog. Let's see if I can adjust this light here where it's not washing me out so much. But with it, it's most of my pain is pretty invisible, especially since I've been dealing with this for so long, and I'm just naturally not a very expressive person emotionally. So I don't really show my pain, but I just have to deal with it. I have to get up and do things and continue on with life no matter how hard it is. I just grind every day, even if I get very little done. And it's hard because people don't understand. They don't get just how bad it is, or they don't believe you with how hard your issues are, or how hard you are trying. Close friends and family a lot of times don't, and sometimes they even think that you're faking, or you're just weak, or not tough enough to get over the issues. But it's just sad. It's heartbreaking. But in one way, they just can't comprehend how bad chronic pain or chronic illness can be sometimes. Because people who've been dealing with it for most of their life, like someone who hasn't, if they experience the kind of pain that we deal with on the daily, like they won't be getting out of bed at all. They'd be on the floor screaming or crying in pain. Sometimes, like, so my heart hurts for people that I know and who go through that issue, with just misunderstanding of family and friends, and just knowing that it's like that for a lot of people. And I think in today's society, we don't take time to sit and have conversations. We don't take time to. Oh man, my headache's really bad. Got to throw these glasses back on. Let's see, the glare's not too bad there. But I think a lot of our misunderstanding of each other in society, people with different viewpoints, is that we don't sit down and have these conversations. We don't understand. We just kind of judge without having the information. We're just not connected. We're connected electronically, but we're really missing out on that deep human connection with other people. And I think a lot of our disunity can be solved by just sitting down and trying to understand other people's perspectives, or listening to their story, not trying to dominate the conversation. It's like if you just like take time, go back and forth. Like I've had conversations where sometimes it's like going 20 or 30 minutes or more, like on one side, and then letting the other person have that amount of time, just because we were going so deep into things. For me, like sometimes people, or a lot of times, it's just like I feel like I have to like rush to get all the things out that I want to say, because I'm gonna be interrupted, and the conversation's gonna change topic, and then it's just gonna be, I gotta like stop them sometimes and be like, wait, can we back up? Like 5 or 10 minutes ago, I didn't get to finish because you had to like butt in, but like I wasn't done, and I don't know. We've lost the art of communication. I've lost the art of understanding, but it can be regained. And really, I mean, initially, like, my point of this video was just have endurance, I guess. I mean, to know that God does know, He does see, He does hear, He does care, and that there's a purpose. There's a purpose. He doesn't create the problems, but He takes the bad and makes good out of it. And there's a purpose that you're here for, a purpose, for a reason. Seek God, seek what that purpose is. The world doesn't have to be the way that it is. You can make a difference, and even if it's just something small, starting with yourself, having some self-compassion and empathy and understanding, or looking inward to see your faults, where you can change. Hold yourself accountable, but you start with changing yourself so you can take that log out of your eye, and then you can see clearly, take the speck out of other people's eyes and help them. But don't give up. Don't let the stuff overwhelm you. I mean, it can be hard. Life can be excruciating and painful, but these short lives that we have is just it's just a flash in the wake of eternity. But what we choose to invest our lives for here in this time, this world, we do that to build the kingdom of God, because that's what it's all about. We're all immortal. We don't die when we die, just our body does. So if you take that into consideration, and you have a heart for the people around you, you love them like yourself. You love them as if they were yourself. If somebody wrongs you, or you're mad at somebody, or see someone going down the wrong direction, just think about, like, how would you want someone who saw from your perspective to treat you, to warn you, or to help you, to forgive you, to come alongside you? We can change this world. We can build strongholds where the kingdom of God is reflected, because it's all about is bringing as many people as we can with us to heaven. It's good to get on a tangent there about the reason for hell, but keep it short. I mean, the short point is that God is just, and He has to deal with evil. He can't. We corrupted this world. Our sin is toxic, and there's the reason why this world is so hard and difficult. So he can't allow that. Like, we have to have Christ's blood, that transformation in us. And he can't allow that evil to infiltrate heaven forever. Like, He is redeeming the world actively. He cares. He's working. He's been working since the beginning of time. But he's got to be just. He's got to deal with the evil so it doesn't persist forever. Time's short. Time is so short. So, take a look at yourself. Take a look at your life. What are your priorities? What do you care about most? Maybe you need to reorganize that. Maybe you need to see, ask God, like, what is your calling? Search it out. And I was listening to a video from Rich Mullins, who was a worship singer. I guess he was popular in the 90s. He died in a car wreck one day, but he was talking about how a lot of times in the loneliness and the pain is where God is preparing you and pulling you to your calling. And he's saying like don't run from your issues, don't run from the pain, don't run from the hurt by just filling it with things. Like don't stop using casual sex as a drug and just all these other things just to numb and because that emptiness, only God can fill that void, and he's got a plan for you. So what makes your heart hurt? What in this world makes you mad, makes you upset, that you wish was different? Do something about it. Do something about it. Make some moves, make some steps, no matter how little or small. It's how it grows. You have that little bit of faith. Step forth, do some action, get some people together. You don't have to do everything alone. So I don't know. Just stay in there. Something that I came up with just kind of been standalone for a while. I was thinking about it one night whenever I was in middle school, maybe. I don't know. I was young, but just like driving home from one of my sister's soccer games or something like that. And I was just like watching out the van window, and so these little lights, these stars up in the dark sky, and I don't know. I guess I was sad. I don't know. I've had a lot of stress in my life, extreme stress, but I just thought I was like, focus on the stars, not the darkness of the night. Because you can focus on all the problems and all the issues and just be overwhelmed about them. But if you look at that little bit of light, look at that hope, it grows. It grows, and you start to notice it everywhere. You go outside and you're looking up at the sky, and if your vision isn't adjusted yet to see the stars, you may not see any. You might see one or two, but like the more you look, the more you see, and it's infinite and vast, and that's how hope is. Because of God. Just chase that, hold on to it. Don't give up. Don't give up. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what do you plan to change? What do you want to change? What can we do to make this world better? I was gonna say stay strong, but the honest thing is we're weak. We're weak, and we can't do everything on our own. And we do have strength. We have inner strength, but if we just rely on ourselves, we're gonna fall. We're gonna crumble. So reach out to God. Stay vulnerable. Stay vulnerable to share your weakness. Share what you're struggling with. Because the more people we have together in a corner, the better we're gonna fight. The more fights we're gonna win. All right. Night, people.